Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. Here's a quick message from our sponsor, Local Works Wheat Ridge, provided by its Executive Director, Paige Piper.
Local Works is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to make Wheat Ridge a more vibrant and sustainable place to live and work. Our mission and action is programming that provides neighborhood revitalization and small business support, keeping and growing the businesses we know and love in Wheat Ridge. In simpler form, we provide connection. Connection to business, connection to community.
This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Amber Betts.
Hey there, I'm Amber Betts with the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver, and today we're super excited to be here with Dr. Brian and Dr. Jamie of KinetikChain Denver.com. Hey guys, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us. Excited.
Yeah, so tell us about the business and what you all offer.
I'll start there. So business started about 6 years ago. Came out of, I was working in a PT clinic where I was seeing 27 patients a day. And I knew that if I just had 5 more minutes with them, that I could get them better, but I didn't have that time. And so, that's kind of soul crushing to know that you could help somebody, but because you don't have the time, they'll go down the route of medications, injections, and surgery. So we really, I kind of got to where I was just like, you know what, I quit. And I traveled the world for 6 months, thought I was done with rehab, but eventually said, you know what, I do want to come back, but I want to do it the right way, both for clinicians as well as people who need help. And so KinetikChain started out of just wanting to provide more and be a new standard of care and to provide that next level of care for clients. And so we've been growing over the years and adding people and different types of therapies. And so we've just really been growing as everybody in Denver has really taken to what we've done and really helped us grow.
Awesome. So what kind of services or what do you treat?
So we've got PT, we've got chiro, we've got massage, we've got fascial stretch therapy, personal training. We've got some sports performance work. We've got and then I have a sister business called Unstoppable Red Light Health and Wellness, where we do red light therapy as well. That's right next to KinetikChain.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So tell the listeners kind of your guys' backstory, how you got into the business. You mentioned it a little bit, but tell us more.
Yeah. So I've been a PT for 14 years now. And I got into it actually I was chemist first, absolutely hated it. Didn't know what I wanted to do. But kind of started looking back at the roots and started observing and just wanted to be in a profession where I help people as well as had constant challenges. And so rehab, as I'm sure Brian will tell you as well, is there is no black and white. And so, and there's no black and white on who's the right provider for you either. And so that's where, there's a lot of, it is a science, but it is an art as well. And so I really liked that idea and trying to develop, not only be as good of a clinician as you can, but also starting to be as good of a person as you can to really relate to people and communicate with people. And so over time, we've kind of developed as clinicians, but also as a company into trying to be everything we can for that person.
Yeah. And I guess origin story for myself is kind of going through few major injuries as a young athlete and being frustrated without that individualized care that I was really searching for. So I went from provider to provider and then ended up becoming my own provider, which is kind of the whole course there. I went from being an athletic trainer on the sidelines for high school, college, all the way up to professional level sports. Got a little tired. My family got a little tired of me traveling as much as I did. So went back to school yet again. And then now I'm able to provide care for the people that need it every day. And we can bring that top level of care and individualized care to, our neighborhood, which is West Highlands now.
Awesome. So tell the listeners kind of what sets you apart from other PT or modes of treatments, or why do your clients choose you over others?
Sure. Well, I think Jamie touched on this a little bit already, but bringing so many different types of clinicians together. So that way, whoever your first point of contact is with KinetikChain can really facilitate, who's going to be the best asset for you. So if it's going to be, our physical therapy and chiropractic squad on the more clinical side of things, perfect. We usually integrate a lot of our fascial stretch therapy, our massage therapy, and red light sessions within those individual plans of care. So that way we can have a really well-rounded program for a lot of our, our athletes and our patients here at KinetikChain. So I think that holistic view within one roof is really what drew me to become a part of the team. And it's just gone, really well for all my patients since starting off at the beginning of the year.
And I think I'd add to that, Amber, is what I'd say what sets us apart is we may not be right for everybody. We're for those people who want an active lifestyle, who want maybe they bike in the summer and they ski in the winter and then they hit the gym 4 or 5 times a week. So we really have kind of developed a whole system for people who want an active lifestyle, who want to get back to that. It drives them absolutely crazy that they can't be out on their in the mountains this weekend. Yeah. And that's who we are as well. So yes, as people, our clinicians, that's who we are. So we kind of built the business for us and the people that are like us. And so having that passion ourselves, we know how to get somebody from, I can't, get off the couch because of pain into hiking a 14er, into skiing double blacks.
Yeah.
So, we're not for everybody, but for those people who want to take an active approach in their health, who want their provider to really give them all the hands-on stuff that they can't get anywhere else, and then they're responsible for doing the exercises on their own. That's who we're for.
Got it. That's amazing. So tell the listeners, do you have, I know you're new to the neighborhood, but any news, specials, updates, things going on?
I think the biggest news is going to be our location over on West 38th. That's going to be huge. We've got a lot of relationships that we're building there. So we're kind of getting our fingers on the pulse in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Looking to create those relationships, get some seminars, and we'll kind of talk more about that here in a little bit, I imagine. But really starting to see all the relationships that we've been able to build, bring us in-house, and then really start to educate the community on what we do, how we can help them, and then really how they can help themselves.
Yeah. So that kind of leads into my next question, which is involvement in the community. Like, what are your plans and what are we doing to get more involved?
Yeah, so here at KinetikChain, we're all about community engagement. We've had over 50 events in the greater Denver area this year, which is, a testament to Jamie and his constant efforts of building this culture that we have here at KinetikChain. Big thing for us is getting the relationships that we do have, going into those particular environments, and then really being able to talk through self-assessment, talk through the fears, talk through the common myths, all these different things that patients can Google and then get kind of lost in these rabbit holes online, which is really frustrating for everybody. So we're trying to create a lot of these opportunities and then host some of those at our clinics, which is going to be what we'll look to promote in the future. So we've had one of our workshops in-house where we really talked through, so that one was focused on low back pain and what to do, who to seek out. As Jamie said, we're not for everybody, so who would be the best asset for you to really seek out? Is it going to be managing this at home? Is it going to be partnering with one of our providers? And then going out for just local run clubs. We love to live what we preach. So I'm a pretty active member at some run clubs around Sloan's Lake area there. Yeah, and then just trying to see, can we start to connect with the community in that way? So that way they can say, actually, Brian, who you just ran next to this weekend, you were just telling me about your knee pain. You need to go talk to Dr. Brian there.
Right.
It's been really welcoming from everybody in the neighborhood, and we're excited to just get more and more involved.
I think, Amber, our whole goal with our community relationships is we heard the same things over and over again. It's like, hey, I took some advice from my friend. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, I went to YouTube. That didn't work. Okay, I went to WebMD, and now my hip pain, now I think I have cancer. And then it was, YouTube, and I listened to some influencer. So we know the route that people go down and kind of like where missteps and, more importantly, misinformation leads people from taking action to get better. So we're like, okay, let's get out there. Let's, try to do anything we can that makes it easier for people to get the right message, because if they get the right message, that gets them one step to getting better. And so we're trying to get out there as much as we can for the community and just really be out there any way we can to help people.
Got it. Perfect. So you kind of touched on this already, that you guys are super active, running and all the stuff that your patients do also. But what else are we doing for fun to get your mind off of work? Because I'm sure you stay busy with work too.
I snowboard in the winter, trail or hike, and a little bit of trail running in the summer. I like to pick up new hobbies that I'm not very good at, like kite surfing and fly fishing and things like that. And then, I've got a 3-year-old daughter, so
that'll keep you busy.
So, yeah.
Same deal. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but we live right off the Clear Creek Trail, so you'll see me running and cycling out there. Wintertime, I'm up in the mountains snowboarding and skiing. But we really like to just enjoy all the parks in the area. There's Sloan's Lake right there. We live right off Anderson Park. So as much time as we can get outside, we like to be, seen and occasionally recognized when my girlfriend does not want us to be when we're having our time. But, it happens to get involved within the neighborhood. And it's really been, like I said, a warm welcoming for us over in West Highlands. And really just being as active as we can and just continuing to live the life that we love here in Denver.
Perfect. All right, guys, that kind of wraps it up. Any last things that we didn't mention, and then tell the listeners all the best ways to reach you. Say your website again, socials, location, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so easiest way to get all of our information would probably be our website. That's going to be KinetikChainDenver.com. There's tons of links, ebooks, a lot of educational material on there. So if people are feeling like, oh, these guys sound like they might know what they're talking about, or I might want to work with them based off of, hopefully our conversation here. There's at least enough information to, help maybe bridge the gap between decision and indecision. Our other page where we show a little bit more of our authentic selves and a little bit more goofy material, but also educational material would be our Instagram pages. That's going to be KinetikChain Denver and then KinetikChain Highlands. We've got 2 pages. So one specific to our Highlands location is just KinetikChain Highlands there. And then from there, we've got our link tree on there for all our events coming up. So that would be the best place to look for our upcoming events. And we usually do some posts as we lead up towards those events that are going to have to do with either information and then getting really as involved as you can with our clinic, whether it's going to be attending one of those events or coming into the clinic and meeting one of our providers.
Sounds good. Any last words, Dr. Jamie?
I think that's it. We just love to be able to help anybody that is looking to get back to being active and really live the lifestyle they want to live. We'd love to help.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Bye.
Have a good rest of your day, and thanks to the listeners out there.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpwestdenver.com. That's gnpwestdenver.com or call 720-295-9588.